Greetings, everyone. Anthony Mars Jr. on PR Lost Galaxy 2014 with a brand new podcast on the Terra Venture podcast show, sharing within the entire Power Rangers fandom at large. And I bring you guys Everyone podcast episode 191, presented by PR Lost Galaxy 2014's Facebook page and my Morphin Megaverse Power Rangers Facebook group. If you have not seen any of those, check them out now. So today, today is September 28, 2015, and WatchMojo released a video about their top 10 hottest female Power Rangers as they rank from 10 to 1. Although I am very familiar with WatchMojo very gratefully, but looking back at their recent videos about Power Rangers, they only did about like 3 so far. One being their top 10 Power Ranger moments, top 10 ridiculous Power Ranger monsters, and now this is their third, the top 10 hottest female Power Rangers. And after watching which female Rangers made their list from 10 to 1, I had no idea that one of the female Rangers from my all-time favorite season made it to number 1. When knowing that for those who have been fans of Mighty Morphin have always preferred Kimberly as the greatest female Power Ranger of all time, I had no idea that they were going to include Maya the yellow Lost Galaxy Power Ranger on their list at number 1. Now that was just really messed up. When I watched the video thoroughly and seen even which female Rangers they had honorable mentions, like, you know, Ashley, the yellow Space and Turbo and Space Rangers, Dana, the pink Lightspeed Ranger, Tori, the blue Wind Ninja Storm Ranger, and I was just like, okay, you know, this really ticked a lot of fans of Mighty Morphin really off, especially of Power Rangers as a whole, especially for those who are not fans. Now, I'll give you the link to WatchMojo's top 10 hottest female Power Rangers video, and you'll take a knack for yourself to watch it. You know, as soon as I saw Maya at number 1, I cracked up, and it was just utterly ridiculous to have Maya on the damn list. And I had no idea she was number 1 on their list of the top 10 hottest female Power Rangers. And but personally, I said, and as soon as I saw the list and when the video ended, I laughed and I said, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Because personally, Maya wasn't a good Yellow Ranger, to be honest. And so in merit to the character, I'm going to do a discussion video on the character of Maya. Although I did a couple of character discussions of characters from individual seasons, especially particularly Lost Galaxy, where, you know, Trakina being my first, Magna Defender being my second. Now Maya is my third Lost Galaxy character discussion. But actually, this is more a response to their video, and I said, you know, I had no, why in the world would you even put someone, I mean, a Ranger I didn't even give a fuck about during Lost Galaxy when it aired and when it left, to ever put Maya on the list of the top 10 hottest female Power Rangers. Yeah, sure, there are people in the Power Rangers fandom that does like Maya and her actress Serena Vincent, but in all general honesty, she wasn't really all that good of a Yellow Ranger. Her character lacked so much depth, and even though there was, of course, you know, the wasted potential her character possessed, but there wasn't really much to do with her character in the series outside of her, you know, having mopes and, you know, hopes for her home planet being restored and all, or what was left of Miranoi and stuff. But to have her on the list of the top 10 hottest female Power Rangers, the only reason why most of the majority of us, the male demographic of the show, prefer Maya as the hottest is because her outfit is too scantily clad. Well, knowing that she's from the planet of Miranoi, she's supposed to look like that. And I guess she wants to dress like that because, well, that's what the character is supposed to look like and what she's supposed to dress like. If she is the jungle princess of Miranoi, she's supposed to look like that. Sure, you guys can go ahead and say what you want about the character or whatever you can say that you can think of from the top of your head, but nothing will change your mind. But it just specifically, I just really cracked up and busted out laughing on the floor hearing that she was going to make the list at number 1. And I really did not want to say anything until just now on this video. Because, and I've already said this before in many videos discussing Rangers, you know, certain Rangers or certain seasons with certain Rangers, that Maya is one of my, okay. And I've said this many times before, but Maya is definitely one of my top most hated Yellow Rangers in Power Rangers ever. She wasn't even a good Yellow Ranger, to be honest. Her character was so insignificant. I'm not kidding, and I'm not laughing. When I look back at Lost Galaxy, the more, yeah, of course, even though I follow the series religiously, even it's been years since the series ended, and every time I, you know, such, Maya was just not a good Yellow Ranger. What makes her, I don't know what makes her out to be a fan favorite. I just have no clue why. How the hell did she get this much of a following, you know, with the fandom? But I know I've been long followed those in the fandom that does follow Lost Galaxy like I do and prefer Serena as one of the hottest female Power Rangers ever. And in all honesty, I never really liked the Serena Vincent as an actress on both the show and outside of the show because she wasn't really all that good. Now, if I were to go and say that, you know, other Yellow Rangers, like, let's say, Kelsey from Lightspeed Rescue, or Ronnie from Operation Overdrive were bad, then I would go ahead and say that they were terrible as Yellow Rangers, too. I wouldn't say that about Summer or Emily. Well, at least they were exceptional. Or Gia from Megaforce. You know, I would have preferred Gia from Megaforce at number 1 on my top 10 list of hottest female Power Rangers if I were to do a similar list on this channel, my own channel of PR Lost Galaxy 2014. Hence, this channel is mostly devoted to Lost Galaxy and as well as sometimes often the entire Power Rangers legacy in itself. But, you know, and also, it's great that they also, well, at least I was definitely surprised and undaunted to see that Corone made the list because, well, Corone is still a significant, you know, character in the Power Rangers legacy. Hence her being originally the villain Astronema in Power Rangers in Space until when, you know, in Lost Galaxy when Kendrick sacrificed herself to save Cassie and so forth. And when Corone came back into the series as the from being Astronema to her reformed self after so many years since Countdown to Destruction, that they were going to make her into the new Pink Ranger. So I would have liked it if I were to put Corone at number 1 of my top 10 hottest female Power Rangers. And probably in tie with Kimberly or any other female Yellow or Pink Ranger or White or Blue. And also, why not other female Power Rangers that didn't even make it to the list? Like Taylor from Wild Force. I mean, Taylor was at least a decent Yellow Ranger. At least I adored her character. And especially Katie from Time Force. Katie, the Yellow Ranger from Time Force. I mean, she was at least decent, but although she lacked a character motive and although development altogether. Tanya, she would have managed, and and I've also, when you watch the video, I've also noticed that on the in the comment section of the video when discussing about female Power Rangers that they mostly picked female Power Rangers that are Caucasian and at least one Asian, but they did not have any of the African American female Power Rangers. And that was pretty much of a daunting shame for those of the African American demographic, that none of the female African American Rangers like Aisha or Tanya or Katie, not even Shelby, our recent Pink Ranger and Dino Charge, made it to. Oh yeah, that's right. Shelby is too recent to be on the list. So, but when they do update the list, they'll have to reconsider their list, because they should realize that Kimberly, however, is still one of the greatest female Power Rangers of all time. I don't know why they even put Maya up there, but that really brought a major upset to those in the comment section of the video. And even, you can also scroll down the comments and see my username and what comments I posted and replied about this, such and such. But Maya doesn't deserve to be on the list. Now, I can imagine when they'll do a top 10 female Power Rangers villains video, I can just imagine when it comes to some of the female villains, they're probably going to do the exact same way with Trakina if they put her at number 2 and put someone like Tanaya 7 or Metal Alice at number 1. Like, what's so significant about Metal Alice or Tanaya 7? Well, knowing those female villains sucked and their characters sucked. Or how about put Dayu from Samurai at number 1? Like, what's so great about her? You know, I'm starting to really think WatchMojo just really missed the ball and missed the mark when knowing that you have far better female characters in Power Rangers, mostly of the original 90s, such Saban, Zordon era, that have better development than the later female villains of Power Rangers today. I mean, look at Rita Repulsa, look at Divatox, look at Astronema, look at, again, Trakina. I mean, they have better characters than the female villains in Power Rangers from Lightspeed Rescue onward today, because they just don't have the flavor and they don't have the taste, they don't have heart, and they don't have souls to be interesting female characters or be a female henchman of a lead villain, either the lead male or lead female villain, if you get what I'm saying. But with Maya, I just really was all ups in arms myself personally, well, in my mind, after watching the video and heard after, as soon as when you put the original Pink Power Ranger up there at number 2, that brought a major upset, because Maya shouldn't be number 1, actually, because if any of you who are fans of Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers as a whole, like myself, Kimberly or either Trini should be number 1. Catherine, the second Pink Ranger, also Zeo Ranger 1 and Pink Turbo number 1, should have been on the top list instead of being considered an honorable mention. I saw the video and I was not impressed. They could have at least put Lauren, the female Red Samurai Ranger, in the list, or for honorable mentions, or on the full list in general. And especially with Trini as well. I mean, why not Trini? Why can't she be on the list? Trini had more significance in terms of female Rangers of the Mighty Morphin era too, Although, Willis, that a lot of people still love the fact that her character was, of course, our first ever Asian female Power Ranger, until, the cast swap when, she was swapped with Aisha, who obviously is African American. So how come you guys got to treat this list like, and especially knowing that, again, most of the majority of the female Rangers they have on their list are female Rangers we know identically in terms of their ethnic race are Caucasian, whites. And not one have been African American. Not one African American female Power Ranger made it to this list. No Aisha, no Tanya, no Katie. I'm like, okay, well, it's like you're saying that the African American female Power Rangers are ugly and not attractive. I would say that of the 3 African American female Yellow Rangers, the one I think is kind of attractive is the actress who played Katie in Time Force. Because, well, I actually liked the Katie a lot. I don't mind, I don't have nothing against Tanya or Aisha, but I think Katie was more convincing to me. regardless how much of a how much of lacking of character and such development and a arc that her character was missing in the series. But Maya, she did not even do much of anything in the series other than mope about what is left of Miranoi, and then also her kinship with the team and her somewhat locking eyes to each other such relationship with Leo, the Red Ranger of Lost Galaxy, and her friendship with Kendrix, later Corone. So I'm like wondering, why is she up there? Is it because someone must have been a big fan of her and probably have been watching Lost Galaxy and seen Serena, in first sight, and probably figured, well, she's attractive, let's put her on this list at number 1. She was in a couple of movies where she was naked, so let's put her on the damn list. I call bullshit, because really, I mean, I just cannot really, as a guy, I just cannot, for someone who has been a fan of a show like Power Rangers, and that being is a kid show, and also that the show is targeted to children, but at the same time it can also be targeted to grown people, grown adults who have children that watches this stuff, that I would ever want to imagine a former female Power Ranger actor naked on screen in a movie. Though of course I did see some bare screenshots of her in the movie Not Another Teen Movie, and also I did see her in the movie Cabin Fever. But in the comment section, every time when people bring up that one movie that she was at, her first movie she was in after Power Rangers, Not Another Teen Movie, they keep forgetting that she was also naked in the movie Cabin Fever. That also co-stars former Boy Meets World alum Ryder Strong in that movie. You guys are forgetting Serena was in the movie Cabin Fever. Excuse me for yelling, but I just need to remind some people, if you guys have vague or no memory of that movie, that I have pity for you. Pure pity for you. There are times where Maya can do her worst in the series. And to me, Maya was one of the worst characters in Lost Galaxy. Worse than Scorpius, worse than Captain Mutiny. She is like the third worst character in the season. The third worst. And I'm just not kidding. I'm not kidding about this. She was just horrible. She was a horrible character. Her character just bared any significance to the series whatsoever. She barely did what she could to support her team. But other than, whatever she was into and all, at least she did what she had to do, what was best in her team, for her team, and support for her to, save Terra Venture and such. But I just really did not like the choice that they made, putting her on the list for top 10 hottest female Power Rangers. And knowing that she was a horrible one. Now, I can also see if I were to put Taylor, the Wild Force Yellow Ranger, on the list. I bet anyone who is a Power Rangers Wild Force fan would be happy to see Maya make the list. I mean, Taylor, excuse me. To see Taylor make the list. Even I heard some people keep saying they want to see any of the girls of the Mystic Force and Overdrive teams make the list. But like I said before, the female Rangers in Mystic Force, Vita and Madison, Mystic Force, Pink and Blue respectively, were terrible female Rangers. And also, thus, of course, I do have Vita on my list of the top 5 worst Pink Rangers video next to my top 5 best back in February. So remind yourselves about that. And also revisit my video on that if you guys do get the chance. But there's no way in the world that Maya could be number 1. Again, I mean, if you guys put her on the list, great. But personally, I would not, in my mind, have Maya as number 1 on the list. I mean, again, despite me being a fan of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, I cannot even imagine Maya being number 1 hottest female Power Ranger. Yeah, sure, just because she wears a scantily clad jungle-like bikini outfit with a, blouse skirt or whatever, and boots, but she just wasn't all that attractive. I don't even think Maya's outfit in the series was attractive. I don't even think her hairstyle as a Miranoi native was all that attractive. So you guys are, I mean, seriously, WatchMojo, and it's just, you know, the whole list was just stupid. It's stupid. You really brought a major upset to all of those of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers community side of the Power Rangers fandom, but leaning toward to someone like me in the Lost Galaxy side of the fandom, who would say that I'd rather see Corone top #1 or Kendrick's, but Maya was just a lame duck Yellow Ranger. She was insignificant to the team, very insignificant. She was more about, you know, her love for animals. Well, that's pretty much what, hence that the Galaxy Rangers is Zords are the Galactabeasts. Duh. But Maya had no significance to the team. All she did, the only time she had significance is when she helps the Rangers face off Scorpius, Trakina, and Captain Mutiny's forces. That's all she did. And at the same time, when not facing their forces, they had to deal with something else on Terra Venture, or what the heck does Maya be doing anyway half of the time when not fighting, or, you know, fighting on Terra Venture with the other Galaxy Rangers, while on Terra Venture doing who knows what. I don't know, probably staring up to the sky, looking for hope if Miranoi would be restored or not. It's just ridiculous. And I understand she's an alien jungle girl, but personally, the whole, you know, her being like that, just, you know, I could find more convincing alien, you know, being characters in Power Rangers that are far more convincing than a Miranoi native like her. Like the Rangers, you know, like the Rangers of Aquitar. I think they're somewhat convincing to a degree. Or even the type of tribe that, the Zybrian tribe that Trip, the Green Ranger from Time Force, is from. I can find those alien lifeform type Rangers convincing. Or even Orion from Super Mega Force, the Silver Ranger, who is of the planet Andrasia. I even find him, although somewhat convincing, than Maya. Or even, heck, non-Ranger characters like Princess Shayla, despite as much as I don't like her character in Wild Force, I still think she's more convincing somewhat than Maya, but regardless, Shayla sucks. I even think that RJ, the Wolf Ranger of Jungle Fury, is more convincing than Maya. Well, you know, male Ranger. It's just, she doesn't deserve to be on the list. And then also, let's talk about her actress, Serena Vincent, before I get off. I never was a fan of Serena Vincent. I just wasn't a fan of her, you know, in terms of actors in Power Rangers. I just never found her attractive, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, guys. If you guys liked her and think she's attractive, good for you. But she isn't, to me, all that attractive, really. Especially on the show. But, you know, years after the show, and you look at her if you meet her at conventions like Power Morphicon or anywhere she is, she may look attractive with the way she did her hair and makeup and stuff, but she ain't all that pretty. And then also, I think another reason why the guy who was on WatchMojo posted that such video is because he felt that she had an attractive body. And here's the thing about WatchMojo. I've noticed that every video when they discuss about top 10 females, such, it seems that they've always objectified women. A lot. Women characters in fiction. Even we do it in reality with real life women, and even women who in the celebrity world in Hollywood. Sometimes we objectify the way they look, and a lot of the time we don't, or some case like that, you know. And ever since this whole feminism, MGTOW stuff came along, I started to become some attached with the ways of pro-modern feminism is like, and also the whole feminazi stuff is gone too. So I really think there is something about that really just had me so lingered on to. But just personally, I just don't really think Maya was that, you know, Maya or the actress Serena Vincent was good at all personally. Yeah, sure, she may have, a great face and all, but personally, I don't think she was all that, really. Now, if anything, in terms of any of the female Rangers in Lost Galaxy, I would say that the one female Ranger or actress that was more attractive would have to be, I would say, either Kendricks, played by Valerie Vernon, or Landon, or Corone, aka played by Melanie Perkins. But I would say Corone, because Corone was the show. She was the series. Even though Corone didn't last long as the Pink Ranger, because Kendricks was the Pink Ranger to start off, though. But I would have loved it if you guys would. I would have loved it if I were to do this list on my own and picked who are my top 20 or so female Power Rangers. I would definitely have Corone as number one, and tie with Kimberly or Cassie. The Pink and Pink Turbo and Space Rangers. The Yellow Rangers may have some love with the fandom, mostly those of the male demographic of the Power Rangers fandom, but I've always been more of the Pink Ranger kind of guy, But the only the only two Yellow Rangers I'm mostly a big fan of, or three, is Trini, the original Yellow Ranger from Mighty Morphin, Gia from Megaforce, Super Megaforce, and third being Summer from RPM. So those are the only three female Yellow Rangers I'm mostly big on. But for some of the other ones in between Maya, they were okay too. Who knows? But Maya, she is the only female Yellow Ranger I do not like the most. And same go also aside with that is Kelsey, the Yellow Ranger from Lightspeed Rescue. Now, Kelsey, the reason why I don't like Kelsey neither is because of how bland her character was. In the same way with Maya in Lost Galaxy. But in Lightspeed Rescue, though, with Kelsey, her character was just bizarre. And was too hard not to crack at times. There were times where I couldn't even take Kelsey's character a bit seriously. In terms of, female Rangers. And not to mention Kelsey's is, and not to mention Kelsey's is, chemistry with Chad, the fellow Blue Ranger, because, when I talk about some of the flaws with Lightspeed Rescue in a later video and some of the flaws with Lost Galaxy in a later video, I'll tell you what should be compared and what shouldn't be between the two series. Maya may be Serena may be one of the hottest female Power Ranger actresses, but personally, I don't think, again, she's all that attractive. Yeah, with the smoky eyes and everything, and her smile. I mean, it feels to me that, like, every time I just look at Serena now, I mean, compared to what she looked like back in 1999, but now this is 2015, 2016 is almost here, and I gotta look. I mean, it seems like I guess she's more attractive than a Kardashian at this point. Actually, when I just look at Serena now in this photo, I'm starting to get a vibe from Alexa Vega, who you may know for playing Carmen, what's her name, from the Spy Kids movies, but all grown up. Every time when you just look at her, it feels like to me, Serena Vincent just now started looking like Alexa Vega right now. I mean, she's like the Alexa Vega of Power Ranger actors. Or actresses, if you will. But I would say Alexa Vega is more attractive than Serena Vincent, no offense, but for someone like me who has been a fan of Power Rangers my whole life, and then just seeing this list and just seeing this whole video was just ridiculous. And really ridiculous, regardless where this is coming from and what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying, right? Because I just cannot put this any other way around whatsoever. Seeing her on this list was just too jarring. Was just too jarring. And having her at number one really upset those who really have always had Kimberly at number one for greatest female Power Ranger of all time. But it's ridiculous. If anyone of any other source who likes to do videos about what are their top such Power Rangers, video would do, who would they rank from best to worst, let them do that. And even on IMDb and such, and on Ranger Board, which is their top favorite and such female Rangers and such. I mean, you guys can go ahead and do that. And as much as I'll continue doing it in my perspective, in my way, how I do it on my show, I'll do it too. So, but in conclusion, Maya is still going to remain as one of my top bottom female Rangers and one of my top worst Yellow Rangers and Power Rangers ever, because she just wasn't all that significant, really. She just wasn't it. And in my eyes, for hottest female Ranger from Lost Galaxy, I would say Corone, because of the leather, the leather outfit she wore after reforming herself from being Astronema the previous season. So therefore, Corone is more hotter than Maya, in my opinion. Or Kendricks. Well, Kendricks was okay, but I would have minded it if they had Kendricks or Dana in the list at number 1, or they should have at least swapped this whole list around, redo it, and have Jen at number 2, Kimberly at number 1, and whatever the way the list should go. But again, it's WatchMojo's opinion. If they wanted to put Maya, the yellow Lost Galaxy Power Ranger, at number 1, they did it. But on my list, when I break down what are my top 20 best and worst female Power Rangers over the last 20 years, you're going to find out what spot did I put Maya on in which category of best and worst. So when I do that such video. So, in your thoughts after watching that WatchMojo top 10 list video about hottest female Power Ranger characters, what do you think about the character of Maya in general? Because I know about the flaws with her character being wasted potential and her, and all that stuff, but come on, really. I mean, she just wasn't all that good of a character. And personally, Serena Vincent is not a good actress. I never really liked her, and especially in her time on Power Rangers. Now, I would say that out of all the female actresses in Lost, and I would say out of the actresses in Lost Galaxy that I would say were far more superior in attractiveness, would have to be Amy Roll, who played Trakina in Lost Galaxy. So she's still more attractive to this day, regardless how old she is. So tell me what you think about the character of Maya in your opinion, and what spot do you think she be on, best or worst in your opinion? Either one. So I just wanted to make a little quick ramble about this discussion in this situation. So that's all I have to say until another day. Anthony Mars Jr. on PR at Lost Galaxy 2014. Go Galactic. Subscribe, drop a like, share this video with your friends, and we'll talk about something else another time. Thank you, and good night.